but do not marry them, because the only thing they're going to do is use you as a hospice care wife and then die.
What our sister here is saying is, do not get married when you're above 40 years old, because when you marry these men that are, older than you, probably in their 60s, 50s, most of them already have illness in their body, and men do not take care of themselves, and marriage benefits men only. So what they do is they would look at a woman that is already successful career wise, she's okay, she's living well, and she has everything all figured out. Of course she's not going to have kids for you. So they go ahead and marry them just for someone to take care of them, if that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and play the video for you all to watch. It's a lengthy video for about 8 minutes, so we're going to watch the videos together. At the end of our videos, we'll come back and talk about it.
Oh boy, here we go with this generation of 43-year-olds something, these 40-year-old sisters. Remember I told you that when me and my friends got around 43, that my career sisters, my friends that had been flight attendants, single doctors and attorneys, hospital administrators, counselors, all of a sudden, they had been wanting to be married since we were like 19. And all of a sudden we got in our 40s and they were just ripping and getting married left and right. Like, I hadn't been in a wedding, period, in my 20s. None in my 30s. When I got my 40s, I was constantly going to Hawaii, going to Cuba, going to Paris, started going to these weddings, and my friends would be marrying these guys, and these guys would just show up, and it was just like, and I was thinking, oh, I guess this is what's supposed to happen. You get 40, and then all of the men just get their act together, and they come and marry you. Now, most of these men were about 10 years older than my friends. I'm telling you, they were showing up with rings and flowers, and they'd be going out with my friends and wearing matching outfits, and one of them wanted to go to her family reunion around Christmas dressed as Mr. and Miss Claus, and the Statue of Liberty, and Uncle Sam, and Bolton, and all. And they were ripping and running and I was like, where were these men at? So I had come up with a theory that I put out on social media, that men were getting it together in their 40s, that they had ditched their lives and gotten with all these horrible women, or they were horrible men, and then they learned their lessons, and then we were reaping the benefits of these men that had learned their child. Before we turned 50, them men was dropping dead left and right. Seriously. Heart attack, stroke, prostate cancer, colon cancer, ED, VD. All types of these ailments that they were having. One was dating a guy and his teeth just started falling out of his head. One was dating a guy and he just had this curly Prince hair, and all of a sudden he just a slick bald headed. One of them was like this brilliant, intelligent dude who had been married 3 times and had all these mixed match kids. And as soon as my friend married him, his head blew up with a brain tumor. My friends been spending money. They were spending money left and right, re-outfitting their houses. Men getting their toes and legs cut off because of diabetes, right? Men that was losing their mind, stopped taking their medication, and they had to put them in these asylums and all this stuff. They were getting wheelchair ramps put in their houses, doing GoFundMe so that the men could pay for experimental medicine to keep their men alive. And these were men that hadn't been with them not even 2 years. They didn't have any children with these men. My friends were mostly single without children, and these men had all these skeletons in the closet, all these mismatched kids, and my friends hadn't invested nothing into my friends. They hadn't invested nothing but that love bombing courting phase.
Sure.
So now, y'all, I'm looking on Facebook because we're now past 40. And so now I'm looking at all the little generation of my sisters here. I'm looking at them on Facebook. Every weekend, droves of them getting married. I just never thought I'd find my Boaz. And they just getting married left and right. And I'm looking at them marrying these old bald-headed men that I know. I'm like, the only reason y'all probably been together one time because he took 15 Viagras. You look at them and you know that they're impotent, right? And they're like, well, that's okay. I just love him. And then I'm going to tell y'all what's going to happen, just like it was with my friends. They married now. Some of them going to drop deceased the week after, because that happened to some of my friends, because they already know that they're sick, which is the reason that they're running trying to marry all these little young 40-year-old women that are, that have reached the glass ceiling, that have reached the ceiling that they're in their careers, that have their education, that have all their licenses, they're invested in their companies and all this stuff. They have their homes bought. Now all of a sudden these men are showing up, and now they marrying this group of 40-year-olds. Now, see, what they do is the old ones are using the young women for their body, their youth, and their beauty. They're using the young women for that. But they're marrying the women that are already set so they can rest in their femininity and use them as hospice care wives and then pass away in their big, nice four-post bed. And then all of their grown, ugly kids will show up at these little 40-year-old women's houses, and they ain't got no kids. And they daughters that's 30 will show up and kick in their door and want to walk in her house and carry everything out like they dad had a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. So I'm just looking at it, and I'm just like, I wish that they would listen. Or do they think that hospice care wives, that it's the women that's in their 40s and 60s? No, sisters, it's y'all in your late 30s, mainly. If you 43 years old and a man shows up and starts wanting to marry you, he doing everything, dressed all up and loving your family and buying your mama flowers and all this stuff. What about you has made him just all of a sudden she's just so wonderful, I want to get with her? They're trying to use you for your benefits. They're trying to use you for your house. They're trying to use you for your kitchen table so that they can sit in your house and eat your cereal while you go work at the hospital and they go drive Uber. While they go shine shoes. While they go do detail cars. Or as one of them, he's retired from the military. Okay, retired from the military, or did he get kicked out the military? Friend got with him thinking he's getting some type of check from the military. He ain't getting that. Moved into her house, and that's what she's dealing with. That's a younger friend. So I'm just telling y'all, like, when I see like older people getting married, when I see that now, especially when it's these sisters that's in their 40s and they marrying these old bald-headed pot-bellied men, the men just smiling or crying while they walking down yeah, because you're rescuing them. They ain't got nothing. They wore out. They've expired. And then all of a sudden, they're expired milk. And somebody comes up, oh, I want to drink the milk. They are a totaled car. And somebody shows up and gets the car and fixes it. Oh, let me tell you what. They are a junkyard dog that's been living on the streets. And all of a sudden, Cruella de Vil shows up in a big limo to take the dog in and let it live out the rest of its life in luxury. That's what you are. You're Cruella de Vil. You are the woman in the limo that's saving the dog on the side of the road. Of course the dog is happy and grateful until you don't feed it. And that's exactly what's happening with these dudes. Once they get into your house and they know that you can't just put them back out in the junkyard on the street where they belong, they're going to start acting simple. That's where they're going to turn around and try to drag you down. That's when they're going to start gutting your self-esteem. That's whenever the guy, like one guy of a 43-year-old, oh my God, when I met him, he was on a canoeing with her on a camping trip. Now, the legacy of low achievement won't even walk out to the front porch to pick up the mail. He won't do nothing now. She get ready to go to a funeral of her best friend. He won't even go to the funeral. So I'm just saying to you guys, just be careful. Your friends that are in the 40s, like if you're going to be with a man in your 40s, don't marry him. Just do not marry him. Just enjoy his company. There's no use in getting married. What are you marrying him for? So that you can take him to his, because when you get, especially them, their life expectancy is 41 years. Quality of life expectancy is like 53 actually. So why are you marrying them? So that you can take care of them and nurse them to death? There's no need to marry. You're not trying to have no kids, Bob, so why you want to get married? Have a ceremony, have a commitment ceremony, but do not marry them, because the only thing they're going to do is use you as a hospice care wife and then die. And leave you alone with all their bills and having to answer to their ugly kids.
Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Maria David, and I'm back again with another interesting video. Do not get married if you're over 40 years old. Do you think what she said makes sense? She said a lot of things to me that make sense, but what do you think about this video down in the comment section? I feel like this advice she's giving really makes sense, because when you look at it, most men want to get serious with you when they are old, especially when they've, done a lot of rubbish to women when they were still young, they were out there doing all of that. But when they are like, they need help health wise, they need help, they need somebody to be with them through thick and thin, is when they're already powerless, and that's when they are old. So she's just advising people that are over 40 that why would you stay not married for a long time, and when you're not 40 you're supposed to enjoy yourself, you now be stuck with another man, with a man that is, cannot even do cannot do the ta cannot do nothing. It's just useless. Like, why would you settle for less after waiting for so long? Let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. I have interesting statistics to share with you all. Some were saying yes, she's making sense, while another person was saying that she needs to heal, blah blah blah. Let's go ahead and watch the stitches together. At the end of all the stitches, I will share my own opinion.
Heart attack, stroke, prostate cancer, colon cancer, ED.
Y'all need to go watch this video that I'm stitching. I wanted to get across a good amount of people. At my age of 38, I was born 1985. At my age of 38, when I tell people life, there's no life for me with marriage after this. My son is older, and you think I'm about to sit there and tie myself down with some older man who probably never took care of himself in his youth, has a history of all these type of infections and diseases that have put him in and out of a hospital, put his ass on a freaking hospital bed, and he couldn't marry me when he was strong, and now all of a sudden he's going to get his act together and find me to marry me? You bugging. You are bugging. Let me stay by myself. Let me stay by myself. When I say I'm done at the age of 38, 39, 40 about the clock, and you think I'm about to go find me a man, and he's about to be on his deathbed soon, all that, nah, bro, I'm good. Go watch that video.
We were reaping the benefits of these men that had learned their... Child.
She's talking about the hobo. I don't know what word you could say on here, but I'm put it up on the... She's talking about the hobo, what's, okay? And I know about these people, okay? They're couch surfing. They're looking to get into a late stage marriage. All their friends got married during the normal times, right? Earlier on, had their children. Now they're witnessing the benefits of having found a loving relationship, and they're willing to fake it. Talk about cuffing season. They're going to cuff you until, until y'all depart, until they depart, because they're not healthy. They haven't been taking care of themselves. She's absolutely right. The 20-year-olds, the 30-year-olds, the 40-year-olds, you are all at risk, okay? You're all at risk. I have heard and seen it with my own eyes, okay? They don't have health insurance. You have health insurance. So be careful. Do not fall for it.
This brilliant, intelligent dude who had been married 3 times and had all these mismatched kids.
Okay, let's talk about it. There is a spirit of divisiveness, and because of social media, this divisiveness is spreading. It's men against women, women against men, black versus brown, versus white, versus red, versus yellow. And it's keeping us in this mental prison where we cannot have more fulfilled lives according to God's plan. Now, people like this, I believe, mean well because they're trying to help. If you go and check her video, she says, at one time, she thought that these men were getting their act together. They've learned their lessons. They've matured. Blah, blah, blah. And now she's like, I was wrong. She's still wrong. She is giving advice on a small sample of her friendships that are like her, that were career-minded in their 20s and 30s. So while they were career-minded, they did not learn how to be in their divinity. And part of being in your divinity is being in your power and learning how to assess a mate. And so when they're in their 40s and late 30s, And that time clock, that natural time clock is ticking. And they're choosing mates. From what perspective? How are they choosing these mates? And she goes through a whole list of men having curly hair and then balding. Men getting sick and dying. Men getting prostate cancer. Bitch, these are, excuse me. That's life. If you got married in your 20s, that's going to happen to your mate. This is life. Right? And then she also gave examples of men who were outgoing while they were dating, and when they got married, they won't even support the wife at the best friend's funeral. How did she vet him? So we need to stop giving people advice without some higher level understanding and deeper analysis. These women, because they had been career-minded, did not seek the balance and insight needed. They did not apply the same intensity that they have applied to their career that they did to their private and professional and personal lives. So your friends, your associates, your colleagues got into a mess because they were not prepared. So if you want to get prepared, follow me. So in the meantime, we're going to pull some cards to see what Spirit says about this advice. Okay, so this is abuse, right? Her misinformation is abuse. Change is not an option. Change is going to happen in life. And all that she's talking about is women getting involved with their divine counterpart, potential divine counterparts, depending on the woman. And these are natural changes, right? She's going to get this message. And when she sees this message, she needs to look at the man in the mirror. She needs to look at her choices, right? Relationship status with third-party influences. She's the third party, right? So as her friends are telling her this information, she's being biased. So let's look at, that's the overall energy. She's not connected to her ancestors. This woman is not connected to her ancestors. And because she does not have ancestral guidance, winning is evading her, right? Healing is needed. This woman needs to heal. Divine masculines need their divine feminines, right? And even in this lifetime, because we're facing battles from outside forces, and outside negative forces use people at different times in their life. They use family members, they use platonic friends, they use associates, they use colleagues, they use lovers. And so healing is needed not only for the divine masculine, but the divine feminine, right? Now, finances for these relationships do improve, right? And these divine feminines feel as though they cannot leave because they are in this for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. But there are benefits in getting married. So her advice was like, shack up, right? That is a problem in itself because you don't have legal protection. She gave the example, and the kids come in and start taking what they want. See, again, her friends aren't healed. If you're married, the children cannot come in and take anything. When your partner passed, you own everything. So it's just bad advice. When you're not married and they get sick, you have no say. You can have some toxic, narcissistic people who have the authority to kill your partner, and you may not want that. or to keep your partner in agony, low quality of life when you know that your partner wanted to be let go. You have no authority. You have no say-so. Anything that you have invested in the relationship because of probate and the laws of the state that you're in, you may not receive it back. So there are finances are improving in these relationships, and they can't leave because they shouldn't leave because they made a commitment to stay there. But again, you have to vet these mates. These women were not prepared. And notice how all the blame is on the men. And there is no analysis on the readiness of the woman.
Oh boy, here we go with this generation of 43-year-olds something. These 40-year-olds.
Okay, so I had to watch this shit like 3 times. I stitched it earlier, but people, y'all got to stay off the internet. Stop letting people tell y'all that when you get old, you ain't supposed to get married, or when you ain't supposed to be dating these dudes. You chose to be 45 or 43 without a husband, or without a woman, without a wife. It don't matter. Your life is halfway over. Yeah, people do die when they get older and they get married. It's a part of life. You waited that long to get married. But why are you on the internet telling people not to get married? I don't understand that part. If you want to get married, then be married. If you don't want to get married, then don't be married. But if you expecting at 50 to get married and live this 50 years of marriage, it's not going to fucking happen. You are closer to death than anything. So I don't understand her point. And I may be just ignorant, but I don't understand her point. So that's why I had to restitch this shit, because I don't get it. Yes, you old. And yes, people get married. And yes, there's a lot of things that happen with men and women. But your girlfriends decided to wait that long to get married too. And half of them gonna die soon too. But that's everybody, you know. Why are you on the internet saying that though? I don't understand. I just don't get it. But that's just me. I mean, I think that people can be who they are. If you decide that you want to get married at 45, if you decide you want to get married at 80, nigga, enjoy those couple days. Enjoy that year maybe. You know? But that's the whole point of it. That's it. Deuces, I'm out.
Oh boy, here we go with this generation of 43-year-olds something. These 40-year.
I don't know, because a lot of these influencers, social influencers, have so many followers. It's just amazing. So we're going to get into this one. And we'll just take a look at it. And this is just a discussion about women getting married over the age of 40. So we have a young lady here. You know, I still think that when you're in your 40s, you're still young. So we're going to call her a young lady. And she's basically advising women not to get married after the age of 40. You know, I don't know why I'm getting 43 in my head, but whatever, after the age of 40. Her reasoning is because of poor health in the men that she experienced her friends get married to. First of all, if you're her friends, Jesus, are you still her friend? Anyway, so she points this out, you know, men, she says that one of the guys lost hair, another guy were dropping dead of EV and all of these things, and she's a sister, you know. So I'm going to assume, you know, a lot of her friends are sisters, and this is an assumption. I'm going to be the ass in this one. You do understand that when you get married, it's for through sickness or, whether or not, you're broke, whatever, you're getting married through these things.
True.
And that these things happen. Eventually everyone dies. And believe it or not, although I did state in the beginning of the video that 40 is young, you ain't got too many years left. You do know that average, people, I think they die around like 70. Not everybody makes it to 80. No one is guaranteed tomorrow. That's number one. Now, if you discover that these men married these women to get health benefits, that's a whole nother thing. But I don't think there's a group of men, like every man over the age of 45 or 50 is looking for women with health benefits. A lot of these men have already established themselves. It would be of great benefit for the average woman to marry a man who's established. Of course, it is up to the woman to do her due diligence before she gets married to a person. It's up to any person to do their due diligence before they get married. So to generalize men and to generalize women to not get married at that age is just not correct. Out of all the friends that you see that may have experienced their partner go through health defects, there are women who get married in their 40s who will be with men that will have no health defects. It is what it is. So this is, again, just pointing out, when people on here start to generalize things and come to the conclusion, that it's all either black or it's all either white, that's when my red flag comes up on these social media apps. We don't know. It's unfortunate that she didn't get to experience an older couple get married and be successful. That's unfortunate, but these things can happen. So I speak to the women that are over the age of 40. Yes, you're going to be talking to guys in their 50s, and along with age comes health issues. Just make sure, have that discussion. Hey, I was wondering, do you have a pension? Like, how is your financial health doing? If something happened to you, will you be all right? You got Cobra or something? That's if that's your concern. But don't let that discourage you. But that should be, there's one thing I do agree with, is that should be one thing that women should look out for. But not only women, men too. There are women dropping dead of heart attacks in their early 40s also. Don't get me into the COVID conversation, these shots that they had everybody taking. Everybody knows. Most likely there's someone, I would say 7 out of 10 people listening to this video know someone in the past year who's dropped dead of a heart attack between the age of 35 and 55. Guaranteed. But anyway, I'm no doctor. But with that being said, just remember, here to help.
Oh boy, here we go with this generation of 43-year-olds something. These 40-year-olds.
All right, so I listened to about 5 minutes of this, kind of. I don't know how long this video is, but I listened to enough of it. Not all men are balding at 43. I will be 44 years old in March. Ma'am, 44. Full head of hair. And when I shave all of my beard off, people still think I'm in my 20s when I shave my beard off. Yeah. And I still have the body of a 20-year-old. Well, it helps when you have 2 black belts in 2 styles, right? Full-time professional martial artist at the age of 43. Specifically, Taekwondo. So you can only imagine, I can do all the moves. Jump spinning kicks, the spin kicks, everything. Every move you can think of, I can do it all. And at 43, almost 44 years old. Yeah. So, that being said, not all of us 40-something-year-olds are balding, missing teeth, in the nursing home like you're describing. I don't know where y'all are getting that from. Oh my God. And I'm a self-made man. got my shit together all the way there. And then I am married. My wife is 51 years old. I'm 43. Chose an older woman on purpose, very much on purpose. Anywho, you see, a lot of y'all miss y'all's opportunity because what was it that y'all called me back in the day, right? Ugly, Power Ranger, the Karate Kid, Kung Fu, the next legend continues, right? Y'all were cutting it up back in the day, boy, making fun of my accent because I'm from Trinidad, making fun of my martial arts, calling me the Power Ranger and this, that, and the other, right? 30 years or so, I ended up with 2 black belts and 2 styles, college degree, former correctional sergeant, and I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I no longer have to work, by the way. So, like I said, y'all royally missed y'all's opportunity over here with the comments and the what was it? The underestimating me. Yeah, but the shit's quite hilarious at this point. Take a long, deep, hard look at the men that you're getting with, and tell me what you find and what they have in common. Probably has something to do with y'all's choices in men. And it probably has something to do with how some of these women, their picker in their head on the type of men that they pick is like seriously broken. That's why I say take a long, hard look at these men that you're choosing. Yeah, I'm out of here.
If you're still here, let me know your thoughts, your comments, your suggestion, your opinion down in the comment section. Kindly put your thought down in the comment section. All opinion are accepted if you kindly put them down respectfully. If you're above 40 and you're watching this video and you want to get married or you don't, what do you think about people getting married after the age of 40? Do you think that is a good choice to get married after the age of 40, or you think do not get married at all because you've passed the age of marriage? Just keep to yourself, date them but don't marry them. What is your take down in the comment section? For me, I would say she's right, and I feel like I do not understand what's going on in the stitches in this video. I don't understand, especially the first lady there that was trying to draw the card and be like, Kiniko. Like, what are you saying? What's she saying? What are you saying? You're saying that our friends didn't choose better, she's not healed. Like, what are you saying? We all know that marriage doesn't benefit women. Like, if you're true to yourself, if you're aware of marriage is, it doesn't benefit women. It only benefits women if you marry for benefits. If you marry because you love the person, at the end of the day you will cry tears. So if you marry for benefit, like you yourself, you know that I'm going to benefit something from this man when I marry him. That is one of the reasons why you will enjoy your marriage. So now, when people are saying probably our friends didn't choose right, they were not focusing on men when they were in 20s, 30s, so they didn't know anything about man, blah blah blah. See, men will always be men. Men will show you who they are, even when they are young or old. Even when they decide that, okay, if a man even decides to marry someone that is above 40 years old, she's doing well for herself, he knows that it's going to benefit something from her. These men, they know, they're manipulators, they know that they're going to get something from these women. That's why they're marrying somebody at that age, right? So it's just like a wake-up call. Like, if you've stayed single from your 20s, you focus on yourself from your 30s, why commit legally to somebody in your 40s if you have nothing to benefit from the person? And of course, it's not everybody that, you know, it's not all the men that will get sick at the age of 50, 40, It's not all men, but we know that these men don't even take care of their health. These men cannot even do this very well, even at their young age. So when they are at their old age, I feel like when they are powerless, they feel like they need somebody to, you know, give them that power, and they need a woman that is already well established. if they want to go for a young girl, it's because probably they are very, very boxed up. They have money to throw around, so they go for young girls in their 20s. And these girls going for men at that age know that she's benefiting, wealth, generational wealth from him. Because if you're going to be dating or marrying somebody that is way older than you, what sprinkle, okay, sprinkle everything, just collect money. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing to benefit. Like when you sit down and think about it, I don't know, I feel like I actually agree with what she's saying. I'm not saying do not get married, like do not get, but get married for benefits. At that age, you should know that you have nothing to lose. You've done everything you want to do with your life. Like, you're well established by yourself. You know yourself. You know what you want. Just marry someone for benefits, especially if you're going for older men. But if you want to go for someone your age, you should be able to marry because you know what you want from this person. If that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, getting married to this man is headache. So if you're ready for the headache, go into it. It's fine. It's your choice. But I know some people that watch my videos are like saying no to marriage, no to children, which I agree with that as well. Because at the end of the day, you still got yourself. You still have to choose yourself. You still have to love yourself. And having a man at the end of the day doesn't guarantee that you have lived a fulfilled life. You're still who you are. You're still, as in, at the end of the day, you got yourself. You have to got yourself. Anyways, that is my own opinion. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions down in the comment section. What do you have to say concerning this topic? And thank you all so much for sticking around to this point. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And kindly turn on the post notification bell when you subscribe so you can get notified each time I upload an interesting video like this one. Alright, I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.